What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is Ready to Love, the reunion part 1. Now, we watched all of these individuals from episode 1 all the way to episode 12. Some of them didn't make it past the first day. Some of them made it to the end. And unfortunately for Walter and Sabrina, it didn't work. Now, Tommy, he won't be the host of this reunion because he tested positive for the C19. So he'll have a fill-in by the name of Tanika Ray. Now, the name Tanika, if you've been following me for a while, you know that's my sister's name. I was home back in July all the way up to September when she actually passed. So the name Tanika is near and dear to me. So I'm sure Tanika Ray will hold it down because Tanika is a powerful name. But before we jump into this reunion, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you're going to be a part of it. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you do. Now, let's jump into this reunion and see what's been going on with all of these individuals. This is Ready to Love, the reunion part 1. Tanika starts off talking about how this is the first time in Ready to Love history that they actually dropped in 2 singles in the middle of the competition. Now that was Sydney and Shine. We're going to start with Shine because when he got there, he didn't make it as long as Sydney. We know she made it to the end. So we're going to go back and relive a couple of the moments with Mr. Shine. They jump right into the situation with Shine and Sabrina. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about what really went on with this scene here. Now, I don't really bring in outside noise. If I have an after show discussion, we'll talk about that. So all we talk about is what they actually showed us on TV. Now, he was bombarded by Sabrina's friends with all these different questions. Now, he's sitting here and he didn't get a fair chance for this. Sabrina just let her friends harass him, throw these questions out. So for him, he was answering them to the best of his ability, but it really wasn't a fair chance for him. They show when they were eliminating Shine and they said he wasn't ready to love and he was like, hallelujah. Now everybody's laughing like, why are you praising the Lord? And he had a good comeback. He said, you should always praise the Lord, which you should if that's what you do. Now what he's saying is he felt like he was leading with his heart and he was looking for love. But if it wasn't here, it was a blessing for him to go ahead and be eliminated because it may have not been in front of him. And I'm liking what Shine is saying. He said he didn't want to fake a relationship just to say, hey, I made it to the end, which, you know, I would have made it to the end because I'm faking it if it means not getting eliminated. But he really wants to be in a relationship. He really wants to have kids. And if that woman isn't here, then OK, I'm gone. I'm thankful that I'm no longer a part of this situation. Now, they asked Sabrina, how does she feel about him saying he didn't enjoy the process? And I just told you guys, and I even said it in the original recap. She let them attack him. He didn't stand a chance in there. Everything negative that he said, she told all of them. She didn't tell them anything positive. And that's why she's here apologizing, because she knows she was wrong for that. She sat there and just let them go at it. Now, me personally, I don't care if production's there, whatever contract we got. I'm not about to sit there and let these people just hammer me over the head with question after question after question. No, I'm like, thank you guys for having me, but I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from this. It just wouldn't happen with me. Now listen to what she's saying and listen carefully. She's saying her friends thought it was a guy that was pursuing her. And just because he didn't have the right answers, they went in on him. Well, yeah, he was pursuing you, but you told them all of this. It's not like they just randomly talked to him and got all these answers from him. You fed them every single question to ask because everything they asked was everything you disliked. That's what the problem was. And I respect Sean for staying there. But me personally, I'm not putting up with that because I already know what this setup was. No, I wouldn't have done it. Next, we move on to Phil and Sydney. Now, we know Phil, when he seen her at that pool when she first came, he was in it. He said, ooh, wee. Now, them two, they were on dates for the whole season. I'm talking about from the time she got there, Phil said, I'm not letting her out of my sight. And you know, they had the little date where she was talking about, do you need to wet your whistle? So at that moment, we kind of all knew that they were connecting. And it was like, let's see how far this actually goes. To all my fellas out there, listen to what Sydney just said about Phil. When she first got there, everybody was rushing over there to try to meet her. Phil was playing it cool, laid back. He didn't rush over there. And plus, he was her type. So for her, she was like, why isn't this guy talking to me? Now, you can play it cool, but don't do it too cool where you get overlooked. You still got to be somewhat aggressive to get in there. You got to stake your claim. But if you just fall back, let everybody else get turned down, then you'll be good to go. Phil, my brother, you got away with words, and I respect it, because you know what? I see a little bit of me in you. Pause. But he's talking about, I don't need help getting a girlfriend. That's the easy part. But the objective is to try to find someone you want to spend your life with. Now, they're talking about the engagement word, so they both kind of awkward about it. But Phil, he's confident and he knows what he's saying. And I'm like, okay, Phil, you doing your thing, brother. You're doing your thing. I respect it. All right, you remember Camille and Cornelius. Now we're about to have a little special on the faces and emotions of Miss Camille. Y'all remember the moment where someone else said they were feeling Cornelius and Camille said, "That's my boyfriend." She started making all these faces. Well, that's face number one. You remember when everyone's saying they weren't feeling Cornelius? Look at the face on Camille. This is face number two. Dog, every time you looked up, Camille was giving you some, like, man, what the hell? You don't calm your ass down. I know Tommy was over there like, man, what the is going on here? Crazy. We get some never before scenes, and just after I said, Tommy was probably like, man, you got to stop making those faces. He says the exact thing. You got to stop making those faces, because we look at you 40 something years old and you like, calm your ass down, Camille. Camille says she prayed away all of those demons within her, but she's still gonna keep those facial expressions. Now, Tanika brings up, okay, y'all booed up. Have y'all moved in with each other? They both like, nah. Cornelius like, she cool, but she ain't moving in with me. No. But that's one thing I was saying. Just because you get eliminated from the show, you still have their contact. I would still hit up the person, even if all of the other women said, oh, we don't want Mo on the show anymore. Okay, I'm still going to text the woman that I was interested in. Now, they got the rest of the cast backstage, and they're like, 1 more month, Cornelius, he going to move in, because they know that Camille is running this man's life. No disrespect, Cornelius, but you got to stand up for what you feel and what you think is right for you, man. What you think is right for you. You need to make that decision, brother. Don't let Camille make those decisions for you. Do not, and I repeat, do not move in. She's in debt, brother. Now, they asked Sabrina about their relationship, and she says as long as it's not paying my mortgage or my car notes, then she doesn't want anything to do with it. Now, Aisha chimes in, and we know that her and Camille, they got into it the night that everyone was saying that Cornelius had no connection with anybody. Well, as far as the women. And she's saying there's only so much editing that they could do. Camille was just aggressive, and she was aggressive with all of the females. Now, it's supposed to be, most of the episodes we see, it's usually a sisterhood between the women, and you see the brotherhood amongst the men. But these two, they got into a heated argument that had to be broken up. Next up, they talk about my brother in arms, Mr. Tyrone. Now, he does suffer from a little bit of PTSD, and I understand exactly what he's feeling because I have been diagnosed with PTSD also. Now, I know a lot of women and men that served that had PTSD. So when people say he's crazy, oh, this, that, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He just suffers from a little post-traumatic stress disorder. So when he had multiple women to deal with, for him, he felt like it was too much of a task. He needs just one woman, one, maybe two. But other than that, that is just too many. So he told her straight up, hey, I don't think I can handle all of these women. And he felt like she was being aggressive towards him. So you have to respect what this man's opinion is and how he feels that he needs to be treated. Because if it was a woman saying, oh, it's mental things on my mind, just like when Shiloh had her thing, it was, oh, he messed with me mentally. You have to respect that. And it goes for men and women. I'm not on nobody's side. I'm just saying we need to be straight down the middle and fair with everybody. Now, the thing about Tyrone is he owns up to it, and he says, he admits that it was probably his delivery. So what he's telling Carrie is if he could do it again, because he apologized for the situation, he would further enunciate what he wanted and say, at this moment, I have a stronger connection with Shiloh, and I don't think that you and I can go further from here. Carrie accepts his apology, and she says it's one thing about Tyrone. She was always attracted to him, and she likes that he's unapologetic. He knew that he had messed up, and she respects what he's going through mentally with his PTSD. And she's saying at least he was man enough to tell her that, hey, I don't think that you and I can go any further, because he is interested in somebody else. Tanika brings up the word aggressive that Tyrone felt. That's how Carrie was when she came on to him. Now, she said that's like a little triggering word for black women. I mean, It's the same for black men. When we at work, we got to tone it down too, because we don't want to be the aggressive Negro, the aggressive nigga. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But the good thing between these two is Carrie didn't get upset about it. They actually talked it through. Now, that's just how he felt. And you have to respect somebody. If they feel like you're coming on to them aggressively, then that's just their opinion and that's how they feel and think. So you have to respect it. And that goes for both ways. My boy Tyrone out here. I know what you're doing, Tyrone. So he's saying, whoa. Y'all said Shiloh could be my wife. So how he explained it, he was like, Zadia could be my girl. Sabrina could be my lady. And Carrie could be my wife. See, he messed up on purpose instead of saying Shiloh because he's sitting right next to Carrie. I see what you're doing, Tyrone. And you got everybody laughing because he was supposed to say Shiloh, but he said Carrie. I see what you're doing, Tyrone. That was a smooth move, my brother. Very, very smooth. Next up, we're on Cornelius. And Tanika makes a joke about him and his many connections. Because you seen Camille over there. She's looking like, But she asked a question. Are y'all watching each of these episodes together? He's like, yeah, one or two of these episodes we watched together. Now, Cornelius, he said it doesn't take long for him to know what he wants. And when he seen Camille, he said, oh, thank you. Now, in the back, Tyrone brings up, he did say he liked Camille from the beginning. But you hear some of the other brothers saying, yeah, he did say that. But he also didn't get a chance to get to know any of the other women because Camille was on him from sun up to sundown. Miss Courtney. Now, they asked her because she had a connection with Cornelius. Now, she's saying, unlike the other women, she likes to pursue her guy. So she felt like none of these women were any kind of competition for her. But she didn't really get a chance to talk to him because Cornelius was kind of reserved. He didn't want Camille to see him talking to her. Now, if I was there, oh yeah, I definitely would have went at Courtney, and me and Courtney, we would have probably hit it off very nicely. Courtney DM me on Instagram, MoedotJ. But let's get back to the show. Courtney did say it felt like Camille was a little bit aggressive when it came to the women. Now you have Camille over here being a little bit animated, talking about aggressive. Didn't we just talk about that word? Well, the definition of aggressive is ready or likely to attack or confront. You were ready to attack these women and you confronted them over their decisions about Cornelius. So you fit the word of aggressive. You fit the definition 100%. So let's not make it something that it isn't. You were aggressive to these women according to the definition. And then Aisha, she jumps back in it too. And she's like, you were making threats and being aggressive towards people. Now, you know, they got this brown skin, brown girl crew or whatever it is, hers, Zadia. And she's making the faces. Cornelius is sitting there trying to listen because he's probably thinking, I did have an opportunity to, get to know some other women, but it didn't go that way because Camille was on him. She said, you her baby daddy, Cornelius. You her boyfriend, Cornelius. The consensus from everybody is saying that Cornelius, he really didn't have a chance to talk to anybody. The fellas are saying she marked him. The women, even Sabrina said it. He feels like he probably regretted it. Now, I said it before we even got to this point. He's probably thinking, man, I wish I had a chance to get to explore because he was with Courtney. Now, he says he knows what he wants. So, hey, I got to respect this man's decision. And whatever him and Camille got going on, I respect that. I'm just telling you what we've seen. And I think all the millions of people that watch the show, we are all in agreement that Camille, she kind of bullied you into this relationship. And they talk about Walter because Walter's on the stage too, but he's up there thinking, why am I here? Like, what do I have to do with any of this going on here? Me and Sabrina made it to the end. Let me know when me and Sabrina need to get up here and do our little one-on-one because I don't have anything to do with this brown girl magic. Walter don't want to be up there, man. And before y'all get fake outraged because I said he doesn't want to be around this brown girl magic, I'm talking about these two, the ones that call themselves the brown girl crew or whatever the hell it is, because I love black women. I date black women, brown, dark skin, and I was married to a black woman. So nip that in the butt now. Let's keep it going. And I'm glad they called it out because all the women over there, okay, yeah, you guys are brown skin. We love that. But y'all said Sabrina's too light, such and such isn't dark enough. And even Tanika's like, okay, y'all got the brown girl, but come on now. Come on now. Y'all watching it, y'all know that was a little bit silly, especially for 40-year-olds. Now, I didn't know about all that. They trying to downplay it. We didn't separate ourselves. They're like, y'all got an Instagram page, the Brown Girls Club. Like, oh my God. See, we worry about the wrong things in America. I don't give a damn. Like, okay, you got the Brown Girls Club. You women are light skinned, you're darker. Who gives a damn? We're all black. What is the separation? Damn, it's childish. This is high school right in front of us. We got to make our own little crew. Y'all are adults, 40 years old, 35 years old. What the hell are y'all making a brown girls club crew, whatever the hell it is? It's just nonsense, man. I ain't never seen no silly shit like that in my life. Now Zadia's trying to justify the group. Well, I didn't know anybody, and then I seen her and I was like, oh, okay, brown girl club. We didn't do it to exclude anybody. Well, yeah, you did, because anyone that's black or anyone that's a lighter shade than brown, you're excluding them. It's just like if a man said he didn't want to date a brown skinned girl, it would be an uproar. Oh my God, his mom is black. He hates black women. You can't do that. That's like me starting a group with a couple of my homeboys that are light skinned. Man, we the light skinned dudes. Man, don't nobody give a damn about that. We ain't in high school. We ain't kids. My homeboys are dark. My homeboys are light. We don't give a damn. We a crew. We ain't no damn color crew. We a crew. Now Zadia, she got backtracked. She's in the corner now because she's saying, oh, it's not excluding anybody. But did you hear how Sabrina was talking? No, she can't be a part of the crew. She can't be my friend because she cussed me. She only did that because of you sat in the discrimination between the brown skin and the light skin. Because Tanika asked, could she be a part of it? Oh, no, she was cussing. Don't move the goalposts, Zadia. You know exactly what they talking about. You're just trying to find something that you can use to justify her not being your friend. Talking about she's cussing. Well, that's because of how you treated them during the show. Zadia gets up and walks away because she knows she's wrong. Sabrina said, you've been treating me like trash since the beginning, so there must be a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we did not see. That's why she's getting up and walking off, because when you start giving somebody the facts, they can't handle the facts. They can't handle the truth. They got to get up out of there because all they can do is divert the situation to something else. And when you put them back in that position to answer what the hell they supposed to be talking about, they ain't got no answer for it. Next up is my main man, Frank, Mr. Shake 'em Up, you know what I'm saying? Making the drinks for the ladies. Now, he had two of them. He had Sydney and he had Muming, but he ultimately went with Muming in the end, and it looks like they're still together here. So we're going to go down that journey and see why did he make that decision for Muming. Now, I was wrong. These two, they haven't been on any dates since the show. The relationship is going nowhere. Now, I thought that they would last. But then a part of me also said, well, Frank probably wanted Sydney, but he seen that Muming was a safe route to make it to the end of the show because she started to go with our boy Phil. Now, the real reason they probably aren't doing anything or going on any dates is because Frank wants some sex and she's talking about waiting till marriage. And at this age, I'm sure Frank really ain't waiting for that. It sounded good, but when you actually living through it, he said, nah, I'm good on this. Frank. So Frank's going on talking about, yeah, man, I think I had to step back and get to know me again once the cameras went off. You know, I still wanted Muming to be a part of me, but it was like the cameras were on me and it was a huge weight on my shoulder and it took a toll. Courtney in the back like, Frank, just be honest. And I told you, man, Frank in the nightlife, he has women in front of him all the time. Now, I'm not hating or nothing, but I'm just telling what I think is going on here. He gonna want some sex. He's seeing beautiful women. He has a Muming right there, beautiful, but he has to wait till marriage. Damn. It's not like we getting married tomorrow, so it still might be another year before you even get married, and you just, oh yeah, that's what it really is, Frank. Frank digging that whole talk about, I felt like we got a little too close, too fast. And like, dog, you've been showing that you were affectionate. You were kissing on Sydney. I'm just going off the show. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a hater. I'm just telling y'all what we see on the show. And she's like, Frank, you initiated all of this. And everyone's just looking. But I know what it is. It was a safe bet. Sydney had already made her decision. He knew that probably wasn't going to work. Muming was the safe decision. I mean, that's it. It is what it is. A very attractive woman. But my boy Frank wasn't trying to get eliminated. You can't go back to your boys like, damn, they cut you. Nah, I made it to the end. Now Muming on his ass. You ain't the only one that been hurt, Frank. Now all the other women, they said you wasn't ready for love. And she said, I'm gonna believe what Frank told me. Now me personally, I don't give a damn with none of the other girls on the show. If I don't have a connection with them, the hell with them. But this is a game show and they have control over who stays here. And she's telling Frank, you're not the only one that's been hurt. You got to be careful with your words, man. Because if you're leading people on, that's bad. Now, I can't go along with leading women on. Because I'm going to tell you straight up. If it is what it is, then this is exactly what it is. I'm not going to lead a woman on. There's just no point. Now, they talking about he don't deserve her backstage. He don't want nothing to do with her. He already removed himself from the situation. So him deserving something, first of all, no one deserves anything in life. You need to earn every single thing that is put in front of you. If you want it, you got to get your tail up and work for it. No one deserves nothing in life. Let's get that straight. Hell, I deserve $1 million. Don't mean I'm going to get it. That means I got to get up and work for it. I'm telling you, you do not deserve anything in life. I hate when people say that because no one deserves anything. You earn everything. Now they're getting into the brown girls versus Aisha. But I think Aisha's brown skin. She could be in the brown girl club, can't she? Y'all let me know if y'all disagree. But I think she could be in there. But Naeem is saying what the real issue is 8 of the 9 men, they all pick Zadia as their number 1. And then all the girls have issues with her. All the girls are like, we didn't know that. And I'm thinking, I don't think the women would have an issue with that. Like, okay, y'all all picked her as y'all number 1, but y'all still have a number 2, and it's still early. Like, if there's 9 guys there, we still got to get rid of all of these men. So everyone's looking at Naeem like, that doesn't make any sense, brother. And I agree, it doesn't. Naeem is carrying it on. You know they're about to cut us off and go to part 2 because Naeem is like, it looks like y'all were more worried about making friends than looking for love. Now Carrie and Sydney, they talking about, no, we talking about disrespect here. And Naeem's like, nah, that's what it was. Y'all just mad because everybody picked Zadia. Sydney talking about, could one of y'all men check him? I would have looked and said, check him for what? The man talking his opinion. I ain't got nothing to do with it. He ain't being disrespectful. He just telling y'all what happened in deliberation. Now, is it making sense? Probably not, but check him. Now, that's being aggressive. You don't do that. As a man, you don't be aggressive to another man unless you ready to throw them hands. And we are in suits. And most of the men, I don't see any of them having an issue with each other. So for Sydney to jump on to somebody check them, that's just a little bit too far. Now that just shows you the type of men that she hang around, them thugs. We need to check him. Like, no, let the man speak. It ain't got nothing to do with me personally. He's not calling no one out their name. He's just saying what he feels and thinks. Look at Corey. He like, huh? Check him. Even Naeem was like, huh? What? Excuse me? Check me. Like, when you say some stuff like that, that will potentially get a man's ass whooped. And no one goes over that, where women get men into situations they shouldn't be in because the woman is running her mouth. Now, Sydney, I understand you're upset with what he's saying, but to tell a man to check another man, nah, that's something you just don't do right there. Now, that's a level of disrespect. It's just a lot going on now. Now, Zadia, she talking about Aisha didn't have any connections. Walter and Sabrina, they are already good. So that's why Aisha was upset. But Tanika pointed out something and we didn't really look at it. She's saying, Zadia, you were Naeem, but you had a connection with Dante. Could that be something? And it probably is just something minor. Just seeing Aisha and Dante, they actually made it to the end. That could play a role. Jealousy is in the air, people. Aisha called out Camille about the situation where she said, if anybody puts my man in the bottom, I'ma F them up. Now Camille's talking about, I didn't say that. That was a voiceover. Tanika said, did they hire an extra to do this? She's like, nah, did you see my mouth move? It was you. We seen you. They need to run that footage back just so we can confirm it, even though we already know the truth. They roll back the footage and you see Camille, I'll fuck y'all up. I'll fuck y'all up. She says it twice. They even got the captions at the bottom of the screen. She talking about, nah, I was rubbing my mouth, man. I ain't say nothing. We seen it. We heard you. We seen it twice. Camille still talk about, oh, they edited that. Everybody like, what? So Tanika says, raise your hand and say I if you heard it. Everybody talking about I to see if she gets up talking about, I'm not here for this. This is ghetto. Now, she did get eliminated earlier in the season. She didn't really have any true connections. So that could be one thing. I mean, they are acting a little bit immature. I've been telling y'all are over 30 years old, 40 years old acting like this. Now, to see if she hasn't had any camera time, so that could play a part. I put this dress on, came up here, sitting up under this hot ass light, and y'all ain't even talking to me, and y'all just bickering. To see is talking about she got things to do, just like everybody else. She says her mother's in the hospital. Now, if my mom was in the hospital, I'm just going to be honest with you. Hey, production, I'm not going to make it to it. My mother's in the hospital. To hell with that show. I didn't have any connections with it. I didn't make it to the end. I'm gonna be there with my mother. I'm not gonna come on to this show regardless of what's going on. Oh man, we got some bread for you. My mom is more important than all of this nonsense. Hey, Tasia is telling it like it is. Now, I don't know why she's crying. It's like, okay, they're bickering. Just leave the show. But they are over 40 years old acting like high schoolers. This is very immature. I hope this next season is... The next season's in DC. I hope you guys tune in. There you go. The reunion part 1. Let me know what you think. I know we didn't cover a lot. And it was a lot of bickering going back and forth from these adults. I should put that in air parentheses, adults. But let me know what you think. And is Camille tripping, or did they actually edit that? Or are we wrong? Let me know what y'all think. I'm MoedotJ. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.